Want to play games? Okay. I'll play with you. Come on. Okay. Do you want to play rough? Okay.
Uno.
Say hello to my little friend! Okay. You want to play rough? Okay.
I hope you're holding strong, guys, because I'm certainly holding strong. This whole virus and recession and so forth doesn't worry me. I've seen many different drops in Bitcoin and crypto over the years. Obviously, this is uncharted waters. You know, it's new ground, new territory here because there's a pandemic, and you know, in Bitcoin's lifetime, it has not seen that, and crypto as a whole as well. So we'll have to see how the markets open tomorrow, guys. Could we see a continual price drop? Sure. I personally believe it's going to get worse before it gets better. I believe Bitcoin will fall under 4,000 again, and then we'll go back up. Some people are saying it could go to 1,000. I personally don't think so. It would have to be a societal collapse or something for that to happen. But you know, we'll see how things unfold, because there is fear across the board, and we had talked about, guys, on this channel, a lot of different hedge funds and so forth are going to take profits in crypto where they've seen really good gains, right? To make up for the losses they're seeing in traditional markets such as stocks and so forth. So right now, a lot of sideways movement. We'll have to wait and see how things play out. I'm hoping the markets don't go crazy tomorrow, Monday, right? And fingers crossed on that, guys. Now, I think Tyler Winklevoss tweeted something that really surmised, you know, Bitcoin's and crypto's performance during this pandemic, because it is a new territory. Bitcoin is not a hedge to pandemics. It is a hedge to fiat regimes. A sudden negative demand shock in global economy will affect every asset, including gold, in the short term. I absolutely agree with that, because there's fear across the board. There's economic problems, right? Where even the functionality of our daily lives and going to work and doing this is affected. Right, this affects everything. So I'm certainly in agreement with that, because we've seen over the years where in different countries, you know, look at Venezuela, where the rise of crypto and use of Bitcoin since their fiat currency failed, and hyperinflation and so forth. So we've seen Bitcoin survive many things and go through many things, but this is unprecedented. This is new ground here. So I certainly agree with this statement. Now, what's interesting, guys? We have some whale manipulation playing a part here, and the data backs it up. So here's an article from Coinbase saying, whale watching, exchange data contained early warning of Thursday's Bitcoin dump. So essentially what they're saying is that before the dump came through, they saw an influx of Bitcoin and, you know, obviously respective crypto coming into the exchanges, and it wasn't from retail investors. It was from big players, institutional players. So people who have obviously tons of Bitcoin and so forth. And let me give you the details. The biggest cryptocurrency by market cap value collapsed from 7,900 to a 10-month low of 4,700 on Thursday, and extended the deadline to a 12-month lows below 3,900 on Friday. We all saw that. Data provided by blockchain analysis firm CryptoQuant shows inflows into major exchanges or deposits began rising at a higher than usual rate beginning March 8. One way to read this is a possible coordinated action by whales to dump the cryptocurrencies. You guys know that I mentioned this in my videos, just going back this week, that because we have institutional money in the market now, the downside of that, and it's not a major downside, I think the pros outweigh the cons, is that they will take profits, and that means selling off a large amount of crypto to make up for the losses in their other traditional markets, assets and so forth, like stocks, right? Because the stock market started dumping way before crypto, right? And, you know, like I said, they see the volume coming in was certainly large amounts. That is not from like you or I, who may have whatever, I don't know, 1,000 Bitcoin or something, right? They saw it coming in through from big players. So this is interesting. And it doesn't surprise me, you know. The fear across all markets happened, and people may have sold, but then the whales saying, okay, we're going to dump now, right? And dump out on the market drove the price down really low. And as you know, they've done this many times. We've seen it, and they buy back at the low. More weak hands get shaken out. So just keep that in mind, right? It's something to be aware of, because this market is so young. There's still some manipulation taking place. But eventually, as regulations, more liquidity, and a maturation in the market, more folks get in, they will not be able to do this as they have in now, right? So just keep that in mind. Now, what's interesting is that crypto market maker Wintermute Trading saw its best performing days amid last week's turmoil. Now, this is not really great news, but it's interesting because what they saw was that a lot of different trading bots and so forth were buying up a lot of the dips. So according to Wintermute Trading's head of DeFi, Freddie Farmer, despite Thursday's sharp price swings and network congestion, the market maker saw one of its most profitable days due to its trading algorithms and infrastructure. However, Farmer said last week's panic-driven market volatility was detrimental to the DeFi environment and has hurt investor confidence. So sure, investor confidence is down across all markets because we're in, like I said, guys, a pandemic, right? And obviously some folks are overreacting a bit, but it is what it is. That's the reality of the situation. And this is why I don't day trade, by the way. A lot of trading bots and algorithms are looking to buy and sell at different points to make the most profit. So you're going up against that. And certainly folks are buying the dips, right? So the algorithms and so forth are set to do that. Now, some interesting news. ETH-based developer crowdfunding platform joins fight against coronavirus. So they're looking to raise some funds here. They're pledging at least $50,000 in development grants toward coronavirus-related initiatives. It's called Gitcoin, Gitcoin. It is Ethereum-based. I'm bullish on Ethereum. I hold in my portfolio. So this is good to see, and it'd be great if more of the crypto community can get involved in this. When obviously we have to see how things play out. Now, to show the growing adoption of crypto, guys, and the change in mindset of different folks, Atari, many of you may be familiar with Atari. They are, of course, one of the original game makers, and if you're old enough, you may remember Atari. My older cousins, when I was younger, had the game consoles, and I remember going at their house and we would play. I didn't own one. By the time I got around to being older, it was Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, right, for me. But my cousins had Atari. That's what they grew up in playing. So this was, of course, very popular in the early 80s and so forth. And guys, they are doing an ICO. Here you have it. If you want to buy the Atari token now, token presale is starting soon. By the way, I am not advocating for this. I'm just showing you what's taking place because I was surprised, and they said we accept Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. They have Ripple, but it's supposed to be XRP, right? But that is interesting, guys. It looks like they're trying to build something here. It says here, our tokens can be used to play games in Atari Casino besides standard games like roulette, poker, blackjack, and so forth. Very, very interesting. Shows the future of this asset class. I know right now you may not be thinking so much about the future because everybody's worried about, I'm going to get toilet paper and food and something because of this virus, right? But everything, remember, moves in cycles, right? You're going to have your mountain, be at the peak of the mountain and then the valley, and then you work your way back up. Market cycles, guys, bear and bull, regardless of what's happening in the world. But this is interesting. See where we're headed, guys. They're adopting the fundraising aspect of crypto and ICOs, STOs, IEOs, initial exchange offerings. So big things ahead for the future of this market, guys. Patience is the key, and we're seeing traditional companies getting in, setting up shop, building different things, using the technology. So I'm super excited for the future of this market. Guys, what do you think? Do you think the market's going to open bloody tomorrow? You think crypto may go down? It's certainly a high probability of that because just the uncertainty around the globe, more cases of corona being, reported. So it is what it is. We got to ride through this and, come out of it and work our way back up. But I'm holding strong. I've bought the dip, not financial investment advice. I didn't put a ton of money into it, but I certainly accumulated some more. And, I'll keep you guys up to date with what's happening. Hit the subscribe button, thumbs up button. Please share this video if you found it helpful, and I'll talk to you all later.